Welcome back to the Joe Show. Under the direction of second-year head coach Coach Armstrong, the Madison Rams are looking to build a winning culture. And I had the opportunity to see firsthand how they are going about that process, as you are about to see in my trip over to practice to see the program in action. Coming in today to see the Madison Rams and Coach Armstrong practice. Excited to see kind of what they're building here at Madison. So we're going to get a look at some of the different drills that they do today here in practice. First of all, thanks for letting us come in to watch practice. Coaching for all the years I did, you never got to really go in and see other people practice, and that's one of the things I've been excited about being able to do. So kind of been looking at your practice plan. I mean, it's pretty well scripted. And I guess one of my questions would be, do you kind of follow that script each day with fundamentals at the beginning and then ending with 5-on-5 stuff?
I kind of come from a player development background, so we really try to devote the first 20 to 30 minutes of practice with, handling, passing, shooting, just to make sure, by February we have better players, not just better plays and better execution, but we want to have better players by February, by tournament time as well. So generally we do follow, that outline.
The other thing that Coach Armstrong does in his practice is once he tells them a drill, the players have to echo that drill back to them. So again, what they're working on in these drills and everything they do, they're working on communication, which there can never be enough communication in the game of basketball or at practice. So what he's really working on here is trying to make sure kids are always talking in practice. Is that something you created, or is that something that you picked up from another coach about echoing every time you guys say a drill, players have to repeat it?
I was exposed to PGC basketball camps for a while, and was so enamored with how they did things. I went and worked a few of their camps, worked as a basket instructor. And one great thing they do, they may have 300 kids in a gym and a couple coaches, so they do echo the drill calls. So I thought, what, we need to do that more effectively. We haven't always communicated very well, and this year we haven't done a great job of that. We've been blessed to have some really nice crowds this year. There have been times where my voice, we haven't communicated what we're in, offensively or defensively. So we're really trying to double down and do a better job with that.
What Coach Armstrong has here is they're doing a 4-on-4 full court transition drill. That's a disadvantage drill. So what you're going to see is they have 4 defenders across the free throw line, 4 offensive players on the baseline. And what they're going to do is they're going to throw the ball to one of those 4 players, call a name, and that defender has to sprint to the baseline and get back. So what he's working on are those 3 other guys of number 1, stopping the ball and then trying to load to the basketball so that they don't give up easy baskets. And then a trail guy's working on sprinting and getting back and getting matched up in a 4-on-4 situation.
We've got a finishing drill here, Joe, with the offensive player starting behind the defender. Tell me about some advantages that you see for development.
This is going to simulate situations where you have a defender coming in from the side, and a big emphasis here from an offensive standpoint, you're working on ways that you can finish at the rim. And from a defensive standpoint, what you're working on is just walling up, which is basically you're just putting your hands straight up, trying to put your chest into the offensive player and defending without fouling. And then a big emphasis he made to start the drill was to make sure that you finish the play defensively. If they miss the shot, you got to make sure you go get the rebound. This is a similar drill, except now they've just changed the defense. And the defense is above the 3-point line, but they're not allowed to back up until the offensive player gets past the cones. So what they're working on is that when you get beat, to not stop playing and trying to get the defense to sprint, catch up, and wall up. So again, working at a standpoint from the defense is at a disadvantage, and the offense is trying to work on being quick to beat the defender and get to the glass. Okay, Madison calls this Olympic shooting. So what this drill involves is it involves 4 players, 2 basketballs. So what you're seeing is the shooter is at a spot. Coach Armstrong's emphasizing that shooter is shot ready. And the guy's going to make a good pass to him, and then he's just going to close out and contest that shot. So you're trying to get shooters used to being shot ready, and then being able to shoot over top of the defender. So again, here they move to another spot. They're at the right, I guess, I don't know what they call it. We used to call it the slot area. And I think the first group that makes 6 here is the group that wins.
So here at Madison, they keep practices competitive. They're tracking a lot of these individual drills, Joe. What's your thoughts on having the comparison last year to this year and making sure that people know exactly where they're at?
Well, I think the thing, especially as I found out probably in the last third of my career, is the more you make practice competitive, the better it is. Because kids actually like to see a winner and a loser. So it looks like almost everything that Madison does here, you earn points, whether it's shooting, 3-on-3 drills, sprints, and then they keep track of that. So you can judge where you're at in those groups. So again, keeping practice competitive, I think probably that's really helped them as far as being really competitive in their games, because their practices are extremely competitive.
Joe, I noticed that they've got an assistant coach, the designated DJ, making sure the vibes are going in here. What's your thoughts on coaches bringing music into the equation?
You know, years ago there was never any music in our practices, but probably the last 4 to 5 years, we would incorporate music like into our warm-ups and also our shooting drills, trying to add a little bit more energy and enthusiasm in the gym each day, and I think that's what they try to do, you know, with the music. I've always tried to do as I got to Christmas was really evaluate my team. So I guess if you're taking a look at your team and evaluating him, what's kind of the emphasis that you're looking at as you come back or start the first of the year?
You know, we've got a young group. You know, defensively, we still got a long way to go, just defensive fundamentals. So really, you know, again, I think it starts with our transition defense, communication there. You know, you saw us do that 4-on-4 drill today. And yeah, I listened to Rick Majer speak years ago. I was struck. He said, you know, 2 things we do every day: player development every day and transition defense. We've got to sprint, point and talk better. And then we've got to do a better job of guarding the ball and then getting in our gaps to support the ball defender there. So yeah, I think fundamentally we've got to get better, you know, also with our blockouts. So a lot of it's on that defensive end. Offensively, taking great care of the ball. We've got a couple guys who can really score it, but we've just got to handle it, make sure we're getting great shots as well there.
We appreciate you letting us come out and see you practice, and best of luck the rest of the year.
Coach, it's our pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.